generally. Just about the church this morning, I thought I would spend a little time bashing devilution. Yes, that's right, I said devilution, because you have to understand there's a satanic agenda behind evolutionary science. If you can, a lot of it's bunk science that goes against natural law, so there's no way you're ever going to prove the theory of evolution. Yet the schools teach the theory of evolution as if it's gospel, as if it's truth. And even Darwin had to recant when he was on his deathbed. Even the atheist hopes that there's something on the other side of death. Which, if you're any kind of a spiritual person, you know that this is just a great testing ground. But the whole concept of devolution has been foisted upon the culture, particularly Western culture, to remove them from the God of their fathers, because these Satanists know, they know that, yes, and they are Satanists, and they do know that if you remove people from the Creator and His law, then you are, and you give into this idea that you're nothing more than a graduated animal, then you'll behave like an animal, and thus you will be easier to control. So don't give in to that farce. You'll be better off for it. The other thing is that if you remove, especially here in the United States, if you remove people from the Creator and His law, then you'll become lawless, and that will help them generate the chaos that they need to bring in their Antichrist system. And that's a big machine. Beyond that, if you remove people from the Creator, then you remove those people from the rights that Creator granted. And thus, they can traipse all over the Constitution without any recourse. Because if the Creator didn't give you those rights, then those rights come from the state. And unfortunately, the state does not grant rights to the citizenry. Just keep that in mind as we go further and further into chaos. Now, if you continue down that line of lawlessness, the whole idea is to promote lawlessness. Hey, look at the whole thing with Dorner and this, perversion of justice. A man taking matters into his own hands and then pitting himself against the police, and then the police just going hog wild because they're scared of one little guy with enough training to threaten them. And shooting up shooting up citizens in their vehicles, just getting away with mass slaughter in the process of going after one guy. And, and half the state broke down into, mass chaos. It's because of the increase in lawlessness. Look, it's just like the Bible says, because of the increase in lawlessness, the love of many will grow cold. The government being lawless is just a symptom of the constituency's lawlessness. afraid for this country, not for my own life or for my own sake, or even for my family's sake, but for the sake of those people who are just completely rudderless, who are going to meet with a very desperate future real soon, and they're not going to have their wits about them. What's that all about? So, you need to think about that, because the atheists, or rather the people who have directed the culture to atheism, are not so bullish. They give the people atheism, but the people who run atheism are anything but atheists. They worship the God of this world. They worship themselves. So you need to keep that in mind. You need to wise up to that. Because if you believe in atheism or secular humanism or situational ethics, you're in big trouble. Because those philosophies are not going to save your life when things become desperate. Now, I have I have my own certain belief in, self-reliance. But above self-reliance, I have reliance in Yahuwah, the creator of the universe, protect me when things really do get desperate. So I don't worry about tomorrow so much, because I know that live or die, I'm going to earn my crown. But I do look out for those other people who don't know. They don't know because they've been misguided, they've been misdirected into believing a farce. This whole thing about scientists discovering that the universe is just a gigantic computer simulation, that we're all living in a gigantic matrix. No, this is very real, friends. This is very real. And, this is a physical playing out of the spiritual realm. And there are things beyond. There are clearly things beyond the five senses. But this ain't no hologram. Just let somebody kick you in the nuts a couple times and find out just how real it is. Have you ever been hurt so bad by something that, not like being physically hit, literally being physically hit, but the impact of it being such that you may as well have been physically hit, that, it's like somebody kicked you in the stomach and so hard that they left their shoe. That's a real thing. That ain't, your mind didn't just make that up. So get real with it. Start getting closer to the Creator, because atheistic evolution, macroevolution, it's a fraud, and it's a fraud. And we're going to learn that lesson real soon.